The following video today is brought to you by Quip. Stay tuned until the end of the video to find out more about the world's greatest toothbrush. Only a few years back, the YouTuber fouseyTUBE, whose real name is Yousef, was at the top of his game. Arguably at the time in the top 3 most famous online creators in the world. He was pulling in hundreds of millions of views, had mobs of loyal fans eager to meet him at events, and a sizable role in a Hollywood film. Fast forward to 2019, however, and things have changed quite a bit. His main channel is a ghost town, and he only uploads sporadically on his secondary account, with most of his fans abandoning him altogether. So what happened to cause such a fall from grace for the self-described Tupac of YouTube? Well, as usual, we'll have to look at his past to understand what he's up to recently. This story starts with the inception of his channel in 2011, where he started doing comedy skits with friends. This genre was really popular at the time, with him clearly being influenced by early Shane Dawson and Smosh content. But looking back now, these videos haven't aged very well. While Yousef was just another name in the sea of wannabe comedy channels when he started out, he eventually was able to set himself apart from the competition, with the niche of Middle Eastern/Muslim comedy. This was an untapped market at the time, and he was able to take full advantage of it, gaining millions of views in the process. This was only the beginning, however, because in 2013 he would start dabbling in what would become the lucrative business of prank videos. Even though he wasn't the first in the genre, he quickly rose to the top of the algorithm, leading to him becoming one of the fastest growing accounts on the entire website. As time went on, fouseyTUBE became mainly a prank channel since they were pulling in multiple times as many views as any of the other content. This also led to the creation of his social experiment videos, which were pretty much the same as pranks, except they had a message. To understand how big he was, just look at his most viewed uploads. Some of them have over 100 million views. That's pure insanity. His daily vlog channel was also getting big numbers back in the day. He really did hit the jackpot. I think this era of his channel would be a good time to bring up Yousef's severe mental problems that he has openly discussed with his audience throughout the years. Suffering with bipolar disorder and depression, I think it's hard to deny that his mental health has taken a toll on his channel. The first taste of these problems was made apparent in 2014 when he revealed that despite living in a Muslim family where piercings and tattoos were frowned upon, he impulsively one day walked into a tattoo parlor, had his ear pierced, then decided to get 2 very visible tattoos as well. Now that on its own isn't really that out of the ordinary. But only a day or 2 later, he tells of his remorse and self-hatred for what he had done, going into the shower and vigorously trying to brush off the tattoos. Because of this, he soon had thoughts of suicide and went to a laser removal facility where he spent thousands of dollars for them to burn them off with the risk of decolorization of the skin. Even though it was clear that he had his problems, this didn't immediately impact his video creation. He was making millions of dollars, surrounding himself with an entourage, getting awards, and even getting cast in movies, such as A Madea Halloween. In 2016, though, things really started to unravel. A lot of these events blend together in my mind because they all happened right around the same time in this era, but as I recall, things really started to get heated when a video was released of Yousef getting into an altercation with fellow creator RiceGum. This is also when he started to go off that he was the Tupac of YouTube, and was overall just acting really erratic and was getting a lot of criticism because of it. This led many to believe that all this drama was fake, and while they were at it, they also pointed out that fouseyTUBE's prank videos were pretty fake as well. You have to understand, by 2016, people were getting really sick of these pranksters and their increasingly extreme stunts. Many in these videos started to come forward to tell their story about how they were simply actors who were paid by people such as Yousef to star in these social experiments. And then out of nowhere, Yousef himself came out and just admitted to it.
But in order to put the mirror in my face, you need to put the mirror in your face, because you need to understand how big fake pranks actually are on YouTube. It's silly. Let me give you an analogy. It's like going to a David Copperfield show who does magic, and then at the end of the show going up to him and saying, "Hey, you suck. You're fake. I saw you fake that magic trick, but David Blaine is real." All magic is fake.
The reason these channels faked even the most innocent and mundane of these pranks comes down to a few fairly simple reasons. For one, it's easier because you don't have to wait for the desired reaction from the passers-by. Instead, just tell the actor what you want them to do. Secondly, you don't need to have anyone sign a release form to show their face. And finally, there's no risk of dealing with an unstable person when you try to mess with them in public. This was a major reason why most of these big channels were based in Los Angeles. It gave them access to a humongous pool of starving artists ready to act in their social experiments for $50. Then people like Yousef would turn around and make $50,000 off it. It was hard to comprehend how profitable this was. Honestly, it was probably a good idea Yousef stopped making them when he did, because in 2017, the adpocalypse really did a number on the remaining prank channels. Gone are the good old days when you'll get premium ads on videos with "Gone Sexual" and "In the Hood" in the title. Because of this, most pranksters either moved over to the gullible and unregulated Facebook market, or just quit outright. At this point, Fousey left LA and went back to the East Coast to be near his parents. In this era, he was running a family vlog as well as a cooking channel with his mom and a medical advice show with his dad. Both of them are now dead. I mean the channels, not the people. He seemed to be pretty stable at this point, except for the fact that he impulsively got another tattoo, this time on his head, which he then had to get burned off with lasers yet again. Some things never change.
In what was probably a bad move, in 2018 he made his way back to LA, which is where things started to go downhill yet again.
First, he began a feud with another former prankster, Vitaly. They started trashing one another in videos and on Twitter, claiming that they wanted to box. And while it may have been an act to cash in on the success of the Logan Paul KSI fight, it did really seem like the two hated each other. After a while, I got sick of listening to the mindless trash talking and zoned it all out. But looking into it now, it appears that the fight never happened. I can't say I'm surprised since Yousef has a long history of hyping up events that end up being nothing of note. In fact, while we're on the subject, let's discuss his disaster of a music festival. Right after the boxing match drama, his major concert plan started, where he went around promoting the fact that tons of huge names in the music industry would be in attendance, and was publicly begging celebrities on social media to come to the event. Over time, he became more bold with these claims, announcing that Drake would be performing. When people questioned if this was legit, details became hazy. Apparently Fousey knows Drake, and by knows him, I mean he once walked up to him at a party and stared into his eyes for a few seconds. This was explained in a 20-minute bizarre interview where Keemstar and Shane Dawson seemed really confused.
And literally, Adam, I'm this close to Drake. But instead of taking that moment to be like, Drake, can I get a picture? This is gonna prove all my haters wrong. I accepted that it already was done. As soon as Drake moves and makes eye contact with me and I stare at him, I see his second right-hand man and he nods at me like this.
I think you could already predict that Drake did not attend Fousey's concert. In fact, when the big day arrived, no one of much note showed up. On top of this, the supposedly sold-out arena was pretty empty. As most predicted, it was nothing like what Yousef claimed. As if things couldn't get any worse, someone called in a fake bomb threat for the venue, leading to it being evacuated by law enforcement. You would think that the story would end here, but instead Yousef had a breakdown on top of a car, screaming like a madman. I show a clip, but it's really just more ramblings with no substance. The other thing that should be added is that during this whole saga, he promised that if he didn't appear on the same stage with musician J. Cole, he would delete his YouTube account. And it appears at one point he did follow through with that promise. But as of now, his back catalog is online yet again. Just another example of his impulsive actions. Even though the videos are back up on his main account, he hasn't uploaded anything new there in 2 years. It seems that after he gave up on pranks and social experiments, the channel was destined to become a ghost town. He does occasionally post on his vlog channel, with him recently claiming that he's going to do a new live show and just shot a TV pilot. But who knows? And there you have it. Despite not being the huge YouTube star he once was, from his most recent update it appears that Fousey is in a better state of mind than before. Will there be another freakout sometime down the road? I really can't say. But what I do know is that regardless of if you love him or hate him, I think it's in everyone's best interest if he doesn't have another public breakdown. Hey everybody, I apologize for sweating in this video. It's very hot outside and I do not have air conditioning in here. But it's all okay because I have a toothbrush by Quip. We're not the first to say it. Sometimes we need a vacation from our vacation. Delayed flights, hotel snafus, chatty travel companions? Get away for 2 minutes twice a day with Quip. The wireless electric toothbrush is lightweight and compact, so it packs away easily in your tote or carry-on when you overstuff your luggage. And when you finally come home, I suggest that you keep on doing this simple health routine. One thing I like about my Quip toothbrush is the sensitive sonic vibrations for an effective clean that's gentle on your sensitive gums. Many people brush too hard and some electric toothbrushes are too abrasive, but Quip is the perfect solution to these two problems. This is why I personally love Quip and why over 1 million happy, healthy mouths do as well. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/whathappened right now, you can get your first refill pack for completely free. Again, that's your first refill pack for free if you go to getquip.com/whathappened, and I'll also provide a link in the description down below.